Street and Mulberry and Staten Island Ferry, Rikers Island, Wall Street, MoMA, Lady Liberty, Park Slope, Brooklyn Heights, Williamsburg, and Bed-Stuy.
Welcome to the Vinny Vella Show. Tonight we have a great guest. Not only do we have a friend of mine on here today, but this show you're gonna love. But before I go on with the show, I just want to let everybody know we're on every same time, same station every week. I don't say the days because in different states, you know, they air it on different days. But I'd like to introduce my hosts. We got Autumn. We got Irene, that smiles all the time. Yeah, Carissa and my Kate. And
K9.
K9. If you touch it, you're gonna get bit. That's Lucy. Okay. And oh wow. So, like I said, we have some great guests tonight. And look at now, who's better than me? Look at this.
Nobody.
Who's better than me? You're right.
Nobody.
You're right. You know, sometimes, you know what I try to do at night? Because they say that the last thing that you think about before you go to sleep, you'll dream about it. And I try to think about them before I go to sleep. And I think of, I'm getting shot, somebody's robbing me on a subway, I'm going to jail, I'm in a hospital. I just can't seem to dream about you guys. I don't know what's wrong, but one of these nights it's gonna work. If I wake up to realize the dream I had. Okay, so now, before we go any further, I want to introduce this guy. Now, a lot of people, you might know him by name, you might know him by sight, but he's been around. He's been all over. He used to have his own television show on TV years ago, and I mean, this guy, well, we'll interview him when he sits down. But he's been around for the longest time, and he's one of the funniest guys I've ever met. Because, first of all, I'm not too crazy about comedians, to be honest with you. This is the only one, he's the only one that I always seem to enjoy every time I watch him. Please, would you give him a nice hand?
Yes.
Uncle Floyd.
Welcome.
You know, Vinny, I had a dream last night, too. I had a dream I was having lunch with God, and God sneezed, and I didn't know what to say. All right, I got 800 dream jokes. I had a dream, I was in bed with a horse. It was a nightmare. You didn't like that one? Okay, how many of these you I had a dream I bowled a $2.99. I woke up, one pin was standing. You didn't like that one? I got a ton of them. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is a pleasure to be here. I started my professional career 44 years ago in downtown Newark, New Jersey at the old Carnival of Venice. If somebody told me 44 years ago, someday you're going to make it to the Vinny Vella Show, I was like, I made it. I made it, too. I never believe it. I would never believe it. I remember the first joke I told. Every comic remembers the first joke they told. Good evening. It was summer of 1968. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Carnival of Venice, showplace of Newark, New Jersey. You heard the news today. Frank Sinatra just married Mia Farrow, brought her home to meet his mother. He said, Mamma Mia. Think I should take it out of the act? Take it out of the act. And I want you to know I got out of a sick bed to be here with you tonight. My Kumara has the flu. Italian joke. I heard more Italian here backstage. Your audience, half of them must be Italian. They said, how could you be Italian with the name Floyd? I said, my mother never called me that. She called me Chooch. my big brother was Chuchona. My little brother was Chuchirida. I remember first day of kindergarten, we all had to stand by our desk and announce our name. My name is Ellen Smith. My name is Michael Kelly. My name is Chooch. Teacher said, you got a last name? Yeah, Vinica. Chooch, Vinica. And we're not even Italian. My mother's from Iceland. My father's from Cuba. I'm an ice cube. Vinny, when you find a joke you like, nod your head. All the kids today, all the young mothers in America are concerned that children are eating too much salt, too much sugar, too much fast food. There's even a campaign, they're offended, a Happy Meal and a clown around. Who cared what we ate when we were kids, right, Vinny? First day, Italian kids went to public school. We ate paste in kindergarten. We didn't know what it was. We thought it was American potato salad. Louis, vinegar, questa insalata patata americana marrone che sta asciutta. We ate finger paint. Nobody stopped us, right? Hey, come here. The grape tastes just like the cherry. When we did go to the candy store, half the candy was made out of wax. Wax lips, wax nose, wax mustache, wax teeth, little wax fruit, little drinks in little wax bottles. I ate so much wax, I took a poop a candle come out of my rear end. Nobody cared about us. No, but I'm a little nervous, Vinny. I usually don't work big rooms like this. Usually, not enough people. Usually I'm the house comic at the Motel 6. The other night, after my show, I went to my room. My room had no ceiling. I called the clerk. I said, what kind of room is this? There's no ceiling. He said, that's okay. The guy upstairs, he don't walk around much. Right. A bunch of small rooms. The room was so small, I stuck a key in the keyhole, broke the back window. Room was so small, I dropped my toupee. We had wall-to-wall carpeting. Room was so small, I bent over like this. Here, the doorknob got friendly with me. The room was so small, the mice had to... Hey, when you find one you like, Vinny, nod your head. I'll move to the next premise. And how about the president, the recession? President Obama announced 5 months ago the recession ended. He hasn't been to my neighborhood. Things are so bad, a hooker came up to me and said, can you lend me $50 till I get back on my back? Things are so bad. I went to the gas station, I said to the guy, give me $5 worth. He said, here, smell the nozzle. But what the hell is money? We never had money, so we're never afraid of it. We were so poor, my mother couldn't have any children. The lady upstairs had me. We were so poor, my mother made 3 bean salad. We had 1 bean Monday, 1 bean Tuesday, 1 bean... We were so poor, my mother had a baby powder on me. She was a Bisquick. Yeah. Every 3 days, I broke out in cookies. We were so poor. I am so sick of my act, you have no idea. I forgot to ask, what a show this is. I'm the biggest celebrity you got here tonight. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. No, usually, please don't stop. Usually, there's celebrities in the audience. I did a show one night. You know who was sitting in the audience? Soupy Sales. Remember Soupy Sales? Sitting all by himself in one corner. And the other corner was Whoopi Goldberg. They never met, so I introduced him. I said, Soupy, Whoopi, Whoopi, Soupy. I introduced Yogi Berra to Humphrey Bogart. I said, Yogi, Bogey, Bogey, Yogi. I introduced Della Reese to Bella Lugosi. I said, Della, Bella, Bella, Della. And one day, Bella Lugosi came in with Bella Abzug, and Della Reese came in, and I said, Della, Bella, 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 Della. I'm laughing because I know what's coming next. And the first day I was in showbiz, the great Toulouse-Lautrec walked into the joint, and sitting in the corner was Uncle Toulouse from the Danny Thomas Show. They never met, so I introduced him. I said, Toulouse, 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 Toulouse. Did you know Toulouse-Lautrec was a tailor? I brought my pants to him. I said, are the pants too tight, Toulouse? All right, take it out. I'll take it out. Making love to my wife the other night, she started talking. 38 years, she never said a word. All of a sudden, she says to me, tell me, what are you thinking about? What do you think? I said, oh, honey, I don't want to say these things. You shouldn't say these things. She says, oh, you could tell me. I always wonder when we made love, what goes on in your mind? I said, I don't want to say. She says, you could tell me. What are you thinking about right now? I said, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm wondering if those 2 meatballs are still in the refrigerator, okay? After we're done, I'm going to go downstairs, make a nice meatball sandwich, and fall asleep on the couch watching the History Channel. That's the only channel I watch. My wife watches one channel, True TV, all cop shows. One after. Her favorite is Forensic Files. In this particular show, women murder their husband and get caught by the FBI. They leave clues all over the joint. So she sits on a bed and takes notes. I like the History Channel. They had a show the other night about Mrs. Paul Revere, who said to Paul Revere, hey, where the hell do you think you're going? It's midnight. He said, I'm a minute man. She said, I know, but where are you going? They had a show about Mrs. Benjamin Franklin, Aretha. Aretha, I'm just too hip for the room. They had a show about Van Gogh, who cut his ear off, put the ear in the note, said the note to the girlfriend. You know what the note said? Dying to hear from you. I changed the premise anyway. This is a career move for me if I'm good here. I don't know where you go from here. Can I give a plug? I'm going to be at Bally's in Atlantic City next week. I have 2 tickets to see the Pat Boone show. And if you people want to see me on the David Letterman show on September 4th, then please write to David Letterman and let him know. Otherwise, I'll be at the Elks Club in Newburgh, New York. Beautiful studio. I love that scenery you have there. Looks like Newark after the fire. The hell kind of buildings are those? This is not New York. Looks like ruin. Looks like Germany after the war. Who the heck put this here? And I don't make fun of German people. How can you make fun of a race that is in love with cuckoo clocks? Who cares about cuckoo clocks? Vinny, do you ever have a cuckoo clock in your house? Italians don't have cuckoo clocks.
I had a lot of cuckoos in my house.
I'm not talking about your relatives. We had a cuckoo clock come out at 11 o'clock. He went cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. My Uncle Dominic shot him. Whoa, that's easy. There's one Italian cuckoo clock company came with 2 houses, one for the cuckoo and the other for the cuquette, who was the cuckoo's kumara. And instead of going cuckoo, he came out and went uffa. Can I do a plug here, Vinny? I'm organizing the Italian Million Man March. I don't want to use political things in your show, but I've been working on the Italian Million Man March for 19 years. So far, I got 5 guys signed up, and they're not marching, they're coming by limo. We got a lot on the agenda. We want to know who told the Swedish people to make meatballs. Swedish women are this big, they make meatballs a così like that. Italian women are this big, they make them come in our baladagon. Do you ever make a Swedish meatball sandwich? Takes 42 meatballs, you take a bite, 5 go flying out the end. All right, another premise. house. Somebody was talking about how hot it is. Everybody complains today. Everybody complains how hot it is. Wait, Vinny, did you have air conditioning in your house years ago? You lived downtown. You didn't have air conditioning.
No.
It was so hot in our house. One day I saw a chicken lay a hard-boiled egg. It was so hot. They laugh at that. They don't laugh at the Million Man March. They were so hot. Kim, you got a tough crowd here. It was so hot, the only way you could get a breeze was to put the oven on. It was so hot, the only thing you could read was a fan magazine. Forget about it. I'm not going in anymore. All the young kids, too, nowadays, they got to go to the doctor for this, the doctor for that. We never went to the doctor, right, Vinny? Oh, Italian kids, the last thing you would tell your mother, Ma, I tengo dolore in the stomach. Mommy, I don't feel good. She'd say, come with me over the bathroom in the tub were the two scariest things you ever saw. A bag with a pump next to it. Bend over, bing, into a gula. 3 times she squeezed it, va scappa, tutto goes. I saw a sea monkey come flying out of my ass. That's the last time I got sick. February 5th, 1954. Never got sick after that. Yeah. And I heard a psychiatrist say the worst thing a mother could ever do is lie to the children. A mother should never lie to the children. I remember my mother standing by the door saying, come on in, I'm not going to hit you. Come on. Nice crowd. One of your people in the audience actually came up to me and said, excuse me, are you the original Uncle Floyd? as if there's enough work for more than one of us. Then he said, you look so clear. I never saw you in person. I should introduce myself. I had a television show called The Uncle Floyd Show. My best years were 1974, 5, and 6. That's when I was hot. I had two big sponsors, Tom Carvel and Crazy Eddie. I'll have to tell you, one dropped dead, the other one on the lam. But I'm working for VINNY VELLA tonight. I miss Tom Carvel. Remember his ice cream commercials? Carvel ice cream. Hello, participating Carvel. Wednesday is Sunday. When my audience heard that, they went, whoa, check that. Wednesday is Sunday. Wednesday is Sunday. Maybe Tuesday is Thursday. Maybe 5/14 is 50. Hey, who knows? And he had a concoction for every holiday, the most embarrassing of which was Father's Day. Father's Day. Fudgy the Whale for What Italian kid would give their father a $3 frozen Fudgy the Whale ice cream cake? My father's as big as that table, came here from Italy, talked like half man, half dog. Hey! I don't make fun of the old timer. My grandmother came here from Italy, never learned English. She learned one word. Grandma, how do you feel? My grandfather came here from Italy, never learned English, but he spoke English to people all day long without understanding one word of the English language. They were very clever, the old-timers. Somebody would say a sentence to him, and he'd only repeat the last 3 words of the particular sentence. For example, hey, Filippo, how do you feel? How do you feel? I hear your son got a good job. Hey, good job. Well, the grandmother made everybody in America became Italian. She said to me, Florio, dove sta il presidente italiano? I said, what Italian president? Who are you talking about? President Oregano. Mickey Rooney became Macaroni. Mickey Rooney, that's what they call him, Macaroni. Muhammad Ali became Muhammad Ali. And this is like the high point of my career being. Look at this. We used to smoke this stuff, now it's growing everywhere. I want to thank your decorating committee. They did a nice job here. I feel like I'm in a coffin. I went by a funeral parlor the other day. There was a sign in the window that said, closed due to birth in the family. They tell stories here? Your comics tell stories here? Because I work in the mountains. I've been working in the Catskill Mountains for well over 40-some-odd years. Little Italian man was 97 years old. He was on, for better lack of words, his deathbed. The nurse was there by his side. She said, well, we better call the 2 sons and the daughter. They better get over to the apartment right away. Pop ain't going to make it through the night. They come by. They said, listen, your father, we did everything we could. He's 97. We think it's time. He's got all the funeral arrangements out there on the kitchen table. You better go everything. The 2 sons and the daughter looking at the paperwork. Their one son says, this is ridiculous. A casket, $18,000 for a casket. I could find one for $1,000. They're always going to see it anyway. He goes, and the other daughter says, oh, my God, $700 for flower truck. Leave the flowers in the funeral parlor. We don't have to. We could save money there. Then the daughter goes, oh, my God, we got to pay $150 for somebody to sing Ave Maria at the church. I got a tape of Luciano Pavarotti. We'll play that. We don't need this. All of a sudden, the old man is up. He's dressed. He's leaving the house. They said, Pop, where you going? He said, hey, if you're going to be so damn cheap, I'll walk to the graveyard. We'll laugh at that. Our people with children. But I don't bother with any of the modern technology. I have 7 children. I have 6 boys and 1 girl. They do everything for me. If I'm home alone, I can't even put my own television on anymore. Honest to God, right? Comes with 5 remote controls. 1 big screen takes up the whole set. I press the button, the picture goes on. I sit down, it goes off. I take another one, bing, now I got a picture with no voice. I take another one, pow, I press the button, and the big picture shrinks to a little thing, is which we had $4,000 ago. I called my son, come here, put this on for me. Oh, Dad, I already showed you 2 times. Never mind. I changed your diaper 5,756 times. You can show me one more time how to put the TV on. Remember television without cable, the picture would roll up and down, and the whole family would watch like this. Nobody would say a word, and it would go sideways like this, here, up. We used to watch McHale's Navy and get seasick at the same time. Half the other sets had double images or ghosts. You saw 2 of everything. For years I watched Bonanza. I didn't know Lauren Green had 6 sons. I thought Lauren Green Until I got cable, I realized there were only 3 boys. I thought Hop Sing was 2 Chinese guys bringing food to Horse Car Ride. By the way, a Chinese couple on my block just had a black baby. You know what they named it? Something Wong. I took those back to 1952. How old do you want me to get? I worked in a hotel the other night. The walls were so thin I could hear everything going on in the room next door. Oh, my dear, you have the most beautiful face. I wish I could send it to Rome and have it chiseled in stone. Another minute goes by. Oh, my dear, my darling, you have the most beautiful legs. I wish I could send it to Rome and have it chiseled. Oh, my dear, you have the most beautiful maron. That means eyebrows. He said, I wish I could send it to Rome and have it chiseled in stone. I couldn't take it anymore. I got up, I got dressed, I knocked on the door. He said, who is it? I said, open up. It's a Giuseppe, the chiseler from Rome. Old joke. How old do you want to get with these? This is like, I got to stand up here alone at Sulu Gondende. You got with 4 beautiful girls like that. How do you rate this, Vinny? How do you?
I'd say it's hot.
Do you do anything on this show? So far, you did nothing. You sit there. What do you do? You can't even put a tie on. I mean, I got a tie, and this isn't even my show. I'm joking. You know how long I know Vinny? I know Vinny. I remember when his hair was black and the jacket was white. That's how far back we are. Christ, Vinny's so old, he remembers the Dead Sea when it was sick. Nobody knows my age. Nobody knows my age. Some women take me for 50, 75, 200, 300. One took me for a house and 2 cars. I've been married so many times, they threw so much rice at me, I opened my own Chinese restaurant. And I try to be a good father. I try to be... One of my kids said, I said to one of my kids the other day, I said, listen, I'm spending a lot of money sending you to college. What do you think you'll be when you get out? He said, 38, 39, 40. Of course, I didn't go to college. Only one thing stopped me, high school. But you don't have to feel sorry for me. I think they're turning the lights on you. I don't have to do this for a living. All my relatives are in construction. My Uncle Dominic is in cement. I have a profession too, you know. I don't do this for a living. I'm a professional squirrel catcher by trade. You know how to catch a squirrel? Climb up a tree and act like a nut. What, are you giving me the sign there? What is that? You're wearing a scarf? It's friggin' summer.
Well, I'm supposed to be signaled over here, and all the wrong lights are going on and off.
Well, as long as they're not cop lights, Vinny, don't worry about it. Because cop pulled me over the other night. Cop pulled me over. He come up to my car. He said, do you know why I pulled you over? I said, no. And I took off. He asked the question. I answered the question. Anyway, my case comes up next Tuesday. But I believe in law and order. My Uncle Luigi's with the FBI. They picked him up Monday afternoon. Yeah, okay. I'm done. What? We don't come over? I'll get this guy out. Wait a minute. Come over here. How are you?
Very good. That was so
Very
fun.
nice.
So, Floyd, have you met all the girls?
No, and I don't want to either. I want to get in trouble tonight. No. They're all beautiful. One more lovely than the next.
Thank you so much.
I could be their grandfather. Anyway.
Yeah?
You probably are. No, they're all nice.
Well, I handpicked each and every one of them.
You handled them. Handle-picked.
I handle-picked each and every one of them.
They're beautiful. I got to go home and look at a mother-in-law. I don't do mother-in-law jokes. I never make, and I always, Vinny, if I may, I don't understand why comics get on the stage and they make fun of their mother-in-law. I remember the first day I met my mother-in-law. There she was, standing on top of the Empire State Building, waving her arms at airplanes. I am making fun of her. My mother-in-law, I worship the ground she's got coming to her. She said, you don't deserve my daughter. I said, hey, I don't deserve bursitis, but I got it. She's half Polish, half Italian, half Irish. Somebody said, that's impossible. You can't be three halves. I says, oh, no. She's like this. And her mouth is so wide, she can eat a banana sideways. Her face is so fat, she's got more chins than a Chinese phone book. I never seen anything like her in my life. This is it. What do you want, my A stuff? This is it. You're not getting my good stuff. Not for this money. I remember the first time I went, Vinny, he wants to pay me. I said, Vinny had a big show. He said, Floyd, I need you for a big show. I said, fine, Vinny, how much you pay me? He says, don't worry, I'll pay you what you're worth. I says, oh, no, I don't work that cheap.
Tell me something. Now, wait. Now, you've had your own show. You've been all around the country. You've performed in Vegas, Reno, Atlantic City. Now, from what I understand, if I did my homework correct, you're going to the Borgata.
I'll be there next week. I'm one of the only acts that is still in Atlantic City.
Saturday, right?
I started in Atlantic City in 1955 as a kid in the Steel Pier, the kiddie shows in the Steel Pier. Yeah, Tony Grant stars it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm there. I'm there 4 times a year to Borgata.
Okay, so you'll be here Saturday.
Yeah.
Which is tonight. After the show, you're going to be there.
I'll be there.
Ah, look at that.
You want comps? Is that what you're looking for? He wants comps. I got a whole room set up for you. The minute you walk in, the accordion player is going to play, and these girls are going to be... That's a scene from The Godfather. Just too hip. They're too young.
If that's the truth, I'll bring them.
All right.
What made you get into comedy?
Nothing. My whole family has been show people for hundreds of years in Europe. My brothers are entertainers and me. It's a family. My mother's people were Italian actors and musicians. My father's people were musicians and that way. That's all we did, showbiz. That's it. Now I send my kids to college. They're home playing Xbox. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a family business. That's all it is.
Do you remember your first act, the first time you got on stage?
Where are you from? The Bronx? Where are you from?
England.
Oh, she's from England. You're visiting that. You lost all this. You could have had all this.
I got the UN. We got the UK, Trinidad, Russia, and Texas.
Ukraine.
See,
Ukraine.
you can't get any local girls. You can't get a local girl to work for you. You have to go all the way to Russia, Trinidad, England, and the Ukraine.
Close enough. Close enough.
You don't even know what the Ukraine is. I bet you don't know.
That what?
What is the Ukraine?
Where is it?
What do you mean, what is the Ukraine?
See what I mean?
Let's put it this way, I know what a crane is.
I know it. I knew Vinny was a good student. People don't know this. When he was in 2nd grade, they had a spelling bee. They said, Vinny Vella, spell fish. He says, fish. F-I-S-B-H. Teacher says, there's no B in fish. He said, this is bacala. You think that... You want another one? Vinny, spell fish. Give me a word using this sentence, using the word ascot. He said the cow jumped over the fence and got his ascot. So this is the interview? I'm asking you questions.
Oh. Wait, I got to ask a couple more. Okay, you said you had a question?
I'm just commenting, you know. So, you said you were going...
She looks like a young Sophia Loren, doesn't she?
Yeah. Oh.
I'm sorry?
She looks like a young Sophia Loren.
Thank you. It's a nice compliment.
No, I mean that as a compliment.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
I don't know what to ask you anymore.
You don't have to ask me anything.
I want to go under the table.
You want to go on it? Let's go.
Don't go
This is a hole in the head.
under the table here.
Boy shot at me. You come home with me, I'll introduce you to one of my sons. I'm sorry. You're very polite. Now I interrupt. But that's what we do. It's a tough business, right, Vinny? Tough
sure
business. How many years you been doing, Vinny?
Since 1970, 42 years.
Oh, 42 years.
42 years.
My God.
And, well, I started acting 42 years ago.
Yeah.
My first movie was the French Connection. I said 2 words in that movie that put me right in the union, and those 2 words were, I was a sanitation worker, and those 2 words were, oh, shit. That was it.
And now you look at me and say, no shit.
Now,
Well, they only gave you 2 lines because that's all you could memorize.
well,
They didn't want to give you...
I'll tell you, when I had to do that, they were breaking my chops. And just before I had to throw this garbage can into the back of a garbage truck. They said, Vinny, you got your lines down? And they kept asking me, hey, Vinny, just study your lines. They wanted to break my banana. So when I was ready to shoot, I said, damn it. I said, it's oh shit. That's what you keep breaking my balls in for.
You know, garbage pails. I walked down Mulberry Street not long ago with Johnny Russo. You know Johnny Russo. You're a friend of Johnny Russo.
Well, I don't.
You know him. Well, we walked by a garbage pail and he starts going like this. That's from the movie The Godfather. He got beat up with Jimmy Caan threw a garbage pail on Sonny Corleone.
All right.
Yeah.
James Caan beat the hell out of him with a garbage can.
Yeah. And they cut out the scene where Marlon Brando, as Don Corleone, actually said to Sonny Corleone, Sonny, get easy, pass. And then they go in and make the movie. They don't want to listen.
So now tell me something, Floyd. Now, besides being in the Borgata tonight, where are you going after this? Oh, now you're a regular.
I just got back from Reno. I was a Silver Legacy in Reno. I work all a casino. There's more work than you can handle in this business right now. There really is plenty of work.
So do you jump around all those casinos?
I go all over, yeah. But basically, I work from Cleveland to New York, 7 hours one way in a car. Pittsburgh, 6 hours.
You're not driving,
Boston,
are you?
I still drive.
Wow.
But now, don't you have a steady gig in
Because it's quicker to go by car than by plane. They put you in an airport. You go to Pittsburgh, they send you Louisville, Kentucky for 3 days because it rained. Then you got to go to, you can't get the gigs in time. I only fly if I go out to California or Vegas or Reno, that area.
I can't seem to drive anymore the way I used. I used to go cross country. I went to Atlantic City, 2.5 hours. I was nodding out behind the wheel.
You grew up on Mulberry Street. Where did you take a car? You don't take a car. You took it down Canal Street? Where you...
I take cabs.
I wouldn't get in a car with you. Even if it was a movie scene, I wouldn't.
Nobody goes in a cab with me.
Anybody can be in showbiz. Showbiz is the easiest business, but you have to know how to drive. You have to know how to collect your money. That's what we get. That separates it. You have to drive in ice and blizzards and snowstorms. That's the money. That's when torrential rainstorms. That's the rough part of the business. And then they get paid. That's another art form. An Italian guy did a show. He says, I'm going to pay you Tuesday. Come by Tuesday. I give you the money. I showed up Tuesday. He says, I told you to come Tuesday. I says, today's Tuesday. He says, no, not this Tuesday, the other one. Listen, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday. The Tuesday that come after Wednesday.
What's the best thing about working in showbiz? Oh, it's actually over.
I think this is it. One nice hand for Floyd, please.
Williamsburg and Bed-Stuy. Watch out for the bedbugs, pigeons, and the rats. New York City.